Welcome to my way off grid. Today, we're going to get some stuff done, but first we're going to let these chickens out and get them some food. They'll go to flapping around here in just a little bit. I'm going to restring weed eater. We're going to get some weed eating done here in just a little minute. I still have more birds and I just left the food. So, I'm that crazy old lady in the woods apparently. I just kind of do what I want at my pace. But I am trying to build a homestead, a self-sufficient lifestyle. I'm kind of tired of society and doing everything everyone else's way. Get this. See if we can find a spot where you can see these crazies. No, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Well, let's try this side. Is it gonna try to fall over? It might. Oh, getting excited. Just point you down. Down, down, down. Alright, these guys are my Peter Griffins. Pterodactyls of the bunch. They're pretty wild. They are just now of butchering age. So we're gonna feed them out the rest of this bag of food. And then we're gonna get rid of them. They'll be going into a deep freezer. Can't hardly do anything with them. They don't let you set the food down. They try to bite. They attack. They're rude boogers. I can't wait. One more, maybe a couple more days. There'll be breakfast, lunch, dinner. Delicious. I should have named them all. Chicken Kiev. Come out if you want to. Get on the outside. There's plenty of food over there. You guys done spilt it everywhere because you're crazy. Go clean up your mess. There you go. Alright. I got one water bottle to refill, but we can make that wait for a little bit since they still have water in there and they're out. And they can find rainwater in all kinds of pans around here because it has rained on and off. Finally, we got some water going. Why are you guys way over here? Always into my little trash piles. Look at crazy birds. Crazy birds. They got to get into everything. But we're going to clean that out hopefully today or tomorrow also. And get that stuff going. So I've just been dumping everything over there. Oh, lots and lots to do. But right now we're going to work on this weed eater here. Alright. Because the weeds are getting out of control. Ugh, the weeds are out of control. I remember the end got sucked up in there. And I couldn't find it. Ha ha ha. Until just now. Got it. Alright. Let's see how badly we jack this up. He's feeding out of there alright. You know what I didn't grab was something to cut this with. We'll have to remedy that right quick. Right quick. I'll be right back. Whew. Took me a second to locate my little razor knife here. I got entirely too much stuff everywhere. Oh, what a pain. Should have grabbed my safety glasses while I was in there. We'll do that in a minute. So I never claimed to be sane. First of all, my mind moves faster than I do. Oh. Alright. One of my cats is fighting with something off in the woods. Hold it. Was another cat. But I found my shovel along the road. My grandkids were over here the other day and they must have misplaced it for me. I've been looking for it a couple of days. Yeah. Anyway. I lose my train of thought a lot. I lose my focus a lot. I get depressed at times. I don't think it's really depressed though, as it is just lazy. Well, when it rains, you know, I don't get outside a whole lot. Being stuck in the camper, there's not a whole lot of room to move, so my daughter stays in the living room section, so I'm kind of confined to my bump out room here. So yeah, I just tend to lay around and watch videos or play games or movies or something. Anyway, yeah, other than getting out to take care of the animals, really don't do too much when it rains around here. The ground is uneven. It's red clay, mud, and rock, so more prone to slipping and falling. And I already have enough aches and pains, y'all. I don't need any more. So, what did I do with that part? I just had it. Then I had to get up. Now, you see what happens? This is what happens. I don't remember taking it with me. Oh my God, it's right here on the ground. Look, my blind too. Woo-wee. I got it all going on and off, as I say. All right, let's see if we can't get this jewel put back together. One here, one there. Oh, gently. Just all right. Not so all right. There we go. Always check. Make sure everything's snapped back together proper. I don't want anything flying off at me any more than it already does. Next, I'm going to grab my safety glasses. I always got to go to the wrong side of the truck. Now, being a old redneck hippie transplanted in Missouri over half my lifetime ago, I guess I'm a redneck hippie now. But yeah, when I first got down here, everybody in this area called me hippie chick because I was from Southern California, and they just assume everybody from Southern California is a bunch of hippies. So I thought it was funny. It stuck anyway. All right, make sure I can see out of these things before I put on my snazzy glasses, my snazzy outfit with my old work Skechers and kind of sweatpants, my joggers. They do go down, but I prefer them up. So just so you know, this is how we do it here in the hills of the Ozarks. We're not always the smartest bunch. Don't always know a whole lot, but we'll figure it out. And boy, do some of us come up with innovative ways of figuring things out. I've seen some things. So I'm going to pump this thing about 5 times, make sure the gas is all up in there. I'm going to pop this little choke deal up here. I'm going to hold on right here real tight. Watch out, Tiny. Watch out, Juby. Yup. Ooh, I can't do it sitting down, I don't think. Okay, once it does that, I put the choke in once it tried to start, and then I yanked that cord and it ripped right up. But now I'm going to go and weed eat some around here. I guess it won't. Turn yet. And in that general direction is where I'm going to go. So, here we go. about that for a minute. I'd done run off all my chickens. Hey, you can see on these glasses, see why we wear safety glasses, because this stuff slings up everywhere. And if you ever looked at the ground here, it is a lot of rocks. So if you want to know why I don't mow with a lawnmower, this right here, this is why. Because you will throw up chunks of this junk all over, and it's already bad enough with the weed eater. We grow rocks. We grow some rocks around here. So you'll hear me say that, I'm probably pretty sure, kind of often, because that is just a fact. But it has grown up so much around here that you can't hardly see where you're supposed to walk. And ticks and stuff like to hide in that. Okay, they're all hiding under my truck over there, so they're good. All right. Last time I weed eated, I didn't even think about, them chickens, and I had them out. Well, they were all the way up the top of the hill in the woods when I found them. Oh, and then it took us forever to get them wrangled to come back down because they were just terrified. All right, we're gonna move this operation kind of up over around the other chicken and get around this area, because I can't hardly walk around her pen without being in the tall grass. And it is snake season too, so another thing to be aware of, we do have copperheads and pygmy rattlers and timber rattlers, and nothing else, you might run into a black rat snake. Where is this going to stand up here? I'm going that way. Yep. All right. Back to it. Let's get this thing cranked up again. We shouldn't have to re-choke it because it's good and warmed up now. We're just going to pull on this cord and start up every time. Yeah. Good stuff. Alright, we done made that chicken madder than a hornet. Did you see her flock up like that? Oh, poor little thing. She gotta take a minute to get her heart checked back. Anyway, you know, I get slapped in the legs a lot. Yeah, but you know, it's happened. So, every once in a while, you'll get a bleeder. But that's alright. We don't mind that because we don't like wearing jeans in the woods all the time. It gets too hot and sticky for that mess. So, it's worth a little blood. Might not be the smartest thing. I told you, we're not always that smart. So anyway, I kind of started out, you know, thinking if I did some just talking about what I'm doing and stuff, and kind of try to keep track of everything that I am doing, what I've done, where I've been, and where I'm going. Maybe at some point I can make sense of all these things that race around in my head, and we'll get this right. And we'll make this a beautiful place, and it will be eventually. It'll be a beautiful place, I have no doubt. It already is, honestly. I love the raw beauty of it. You might have noticed I missed some of them things down there. I think those might be sunflowers, so I just went ahead and left those alone. I did take a couple of them out, but wasn't really on purpose. Anyway, I might as well visit with my old dog, Fireball. He died a horrible death. He was hit by a neighbor, and she just kind of dumped him in the yard up there at my son's house. Like, didn't even have the nerve to come down here and tell me she'd run over my dog. Just dumped him in the yard, didn't say nothing. Her daughter ratted her out. I thought that was cool. Thank you. Also happens to kind of be a blood-related niece of sorts. But anyway, yeah, she done told on her mama, and so we figured out what happened. But yeah, it took a couple of days before we really knew. I didn't know what had happened to him. We just found him in the yard. He looked like he'd been banged up a little bit, but not too bad. Like, no real open wounds, a couple of bruises here and there. Yeah, it was, that's the wrong thing to do, folks. If you hit somebody's dog, you either leave it where you hit it, yeah, or, you know, if you hit it right in front of somebody's house, you know, whatever, you need to go knock on doors and see, is this your dog? I'm sorry, I just plowed it over. But, you know, and people might get upset, but you know what, like I always said, if that dog was too dumb to move, he kind of deserved it, you know. But he always moved, so I don't know how she got him. I just know she did, and yeah, that's it. So here he lay in his little grave, and I see somebody was kind enough to put an empty bottle of Fireball over there for the dog. I guess it's the namesake. My kids and grandkids come down here, and they loved him too. He kind of frequented their house, you know. So and he was found in their yard by my 13-year-old or 12-year-old autistic granddaughter. So that was lovely. Thank you, neighbor. Explain that to a child with a mental disability. It's a tough thing. But anyway, we got through it. We're still here. We're still rocking and rolling. We just keep moving forward. So I got a lot of weed eating to do. I don't know what you can tell on camera and what you can't. But I'm gonna turn this thing around so you can see what's going on over here. All right. Here. All right. So that little strip there, I just weed eated up to right here. You see that? And that's where the tall begins. So that, you know, I got my Husqvarna, and we are rock and rolling. Not sponsored by Husqvarna, just saying that's what I'm using. It's a Husqvarna. Bought it at Tractor Supply. Close to a $200 piece of machinery, but it's been rocking for me for the last couple of years, and I really do appreciate it. So shout out to y'all. And let's see, but yeah. So we took down these trees. I had a great video of my son taking down these trees for me. And then the excavator guy said he didn't want the trees taken down. I was like, well, my son just took down about 7 of them. And He said, tell them to stop. I said, all right. So we're allowed to clean these up, obviously, but we don't want to take down any more. The excavator guy's going to just push them over, uproot them. And I got to get a hold of him and find out when he's coming. But anyway, now what's going on? We got birds going crazy up the hill. I hear the Peter Griffins barking. Ugh. Nuisance. Anyway, need to turn me back around. See me while we walk up here and investigate this new travesty. So we've had cat fight, chicken attacks, action-packed show. Yep, they're up there fighting, picking on the deformed one. What are you doing? What are you doing? Was you picking on that little girl? Jerks. Ugh. This poor little thing, she just didn't develop quite right, so I've had her kind of just out on her own. Down here. Yeah, she doesn't walk real well. And she's about half the size of these guys. And they're just over here picking on her so they could steal her food. Get out of there, you fat lardo. Leave her alone. She's back there for a reason. She don't want nothing to do with you. You don't need nothing to do with her. Kind of block her in while they're out here being a nuisance. Okay, was you gonna peck my foot? Yeah? They're about the size of turkeys. I know them run when they run. It's so funny. Yeah, you done knocked that water pan over, didn't you? Oh my goodness. These birds, y'all. I don't like them. They're mean. Yeah, mean. They're fat, they're mean, and they eat a lot. Now, have you ever seen that Peter Griffin movies or shows or American Guy? Is that what it was called? I think so. Memory serves, which it never does. So anyway, fighting that chicken. Peter Griffin, peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. That's these guys. Peter Griffin's. Rude. Yeah. Y'all rude. Now we got to try to figure out where we was going with all that. And back out this way. Hopefully they'll leave her alone. Now I've run them all off from her. But if we hear balking again, we know what's going on, don't we? They're just being jerks. Two of them ganging up on her over there, pecking on her head. Like she ain't hurt nobody. She ain't going nowhere. Leave that girl alone. We got to check food and water in Mama's pen over here. She's over here munching on the greens from that flew in her pen while I was eating. She got a mouthful. Can you see her? She got a mouthful. Oh, she done dropped it. I don't know if you've seen that or not by the time I got that flipper, or if I even got it in the right spot for you to see anything. Who knows around here? Beetles, baby. Yep, come get them bugs. I seen two of them. You missed out. She's got food and water still from yesterday. We'll leave her alone for a bit. My throat is parched. I'm gonna go get me a little drinky wanky over here. And you probably don't need to see this part of the yard. It's full of my recycling. It's my recycling. But let's see here. Where are we gonna go next? I don't need to really get down that hill very often right now, but I don't want it to grow up so tall that I can't get down it either. Probably ought to get around this fire pit some more. And under the hammock over there and around the front. Oh, I got plenty of places to go. Where I'm with the chickens was pecking through the trash. That's got a nice little grown spot. I need to move some stuff around, like my little table and my mailbox I need to work on. it's a reclaim. I do everything cheaper free. So we're working on this job site, construction job site, cleaning up and doing some paperwork. And they had torn out the original house and they just plowed over that mailbox. So I picked it up, and it's got a pretty good dent in the side of it, but we're going to try to figure out how to knock that out, and that'll be my mailbox once I get an address on this here property, which I don't have yet. So I have a P.O. box, and I use my my son's house to get packages and such until we can figure out, or until we get up the nerve, I guess. It's I got to call somebody from the 911 to get an address assigned, but I haven't done it. Simple thing, it seems like. I don't know if it costs money. I have no idea. I'll go through that process later. Oh, I was going to talk about my UD power station. I got that UD power station, and it came in all these different packages. And yes, I didn't. Yeah. So I got like 2 solar panels one day. I got the power station the next day, and then like 4 days later, I got the cord that hooks it all together. So when I first got it, I was kind of disappointed. They give you 2 solar panels, but there's no way to hook both of them into the power station and no way to hook them together. But then they surprised me with that final package 4 days later that had the cord to hook into the power station and to both solar panels. The problem I've had with it, first of all, those portable solar panels suck. So any little cloud, anything crosses over the sun, any kind of shadow, and those things just quit. They don't produce a damn thing. And then I tried plugging it into my truck. They give you a cord where you can plug it into your truck or your vehicle, whatever, charge it on the go. But I plugged it in there, and it killed my battery. Only charged it to 8%. And it killed my truck battery. So don't do that. I don't recommend it. And it said when I plugged it in, it was going to take it like 64 hours to charge. So, who am I to know? They give you the cord, you'd think it would work, and it tells you 64 hours. Well, over 64 hours, I'm going to be back and forth to my truck. I'm going to start it. I'm going to leave. I'm going to go get ice. I'm going to go get beer. I'm going to go get, whatever. And, it was deader than a doornail. I got up, I put it on there at night. I got up that next morning, 8%, and it was so dead that it didn't even, nothing, no lights, no nothing. And then once I had turned that key, something was clicking, and I couldn't figure out what it was, so I had to detach the battery cable. And then it was raining all that day, so I couldn't just bring the jump box out and jump it because I was afraid to get the jump box wet. And I got to go put that back up in the shed. It's still in the bed of my truck. I threw it in the bed of my truck once I got it started, and I took off just in case the battery was like eternally jacked up. So that, hopefully I was going to work. So I was hoping the people I was going to work for, my clients, would, if I had a problem, they'd let me just plug that thing in and jump my truck. But anyway, yeah, it didn't. It started back up when I got to their house, so it was good. But yeah, I don't recommend plugging that UD power box into your truck. It killed mine, so yeah, I don't know. Now I'm kind of worried about the integrity of my battery, and so I don't know how old it is. But anyway, we'll figure that out, I guess, when the time comes. Let me get a drink of water here while I'm standing over here. Water right here. All right, now we're wet whistly again. Oop. Dropping things. So, now that I got that drink, I don't know what I was talking about. And yeah, it was just water. Just water. That's just level of my brain, I stop to do one thing and I forget everything. The bottom falls out, you know? Anyway, we still get things done. I don't know how, but we do. I've been real proud of this weed eater. I know that. And I got to pick up a bunch of cans from over here and get them put in a bag before I can weed eat that spot. And I got to get that stuff picked up over there before I can weed eat that spot. So, yeah, give me a minute. We'll be right back. And had my grandkids over and they moved everything around. Why they want to sit in the weeds, I don't know, but I think they're just trying to get bug bit. All right. Go get the weed eater. I just realized I did not put my safety glasses back on about the time that nice little green booger hit me right in the eyelid. Luckily, it didn't go in my eye, but yeah, it might be a good time to go find them damn things. Where could I have put them down at? I was picking up everything. Good night. I thought I had them on my shirt, but no, not it. All right, well, I guess we're not weed eating anymore right now until we find those things. But anyway, we got plenty of other things to do anyway. So, let's see. All right. Water. I love my water. Let's check on this garden right here. Let's see what we got going on down here. All right. So, I think we are gonna maybe pick some of this stuff off here in a bit and put some new stuff in. So you'll see this beer right here, this open beer can, and I had I had told my daughter, my autistic daughter, that something had been munching on her spinach, and that if you put a container with beer in it in the garden, that slugs are attracted to it, they'll fall in, they'll drown. So she just put, I had put an actual like cottage cheese container of beer. She just replaced it with a beer can. I guess she doesn't realize how big the slugs get compared to that hole. I'm sure they can still get in there, but they're not going to fight to get in there. So, yeah. Oh, mercy. Alright, I got some comfrey over here that's looking kind of sad. I need to get it in the ground. I think that's our next mission. I think I need to find my glasses so that I can weed eat that spot right there, and we'll just put them right up in there. Because, yeah, it can take over that whole area and it'd be fine. Alright, let me go get that shovel that I just found and find my glasses and get the weed eater up here, and we'll do that right now. Hold up. Look at that. Y'all believe that? Look, there's where them glasses were, right there. Right there. Oh, but I went ahead and weed eated, so y'all didn't have to watch me do it again. But we're gonna get this stuff in the ground here because it's kind of looking a little sad. It's got some droopiness, and I don't know how this goes. I just know the lady, a friend of mine, had a bunch of it. I said, "Is that comfrey? I've been wanting to grow that. You have to have root cuttings." And she said, "Yeah, I'll give you some." And she dug up some pieces, and she just said, I said, "Do you have to cut it or anything?" She said, "No, I just put mine in the ground and let it go." So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put it in the ground. Yeah, right up in here. If we can get around the rocks. Rock, 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 rock. You know what? Rock. You know what? This might be better with a pickaxe. Where'd that thing go? right over there. Alright. Let's start with a hoe. Alright, let's try this then. Chop off some of them roots. Roots. There's a good flat rock right there. All right. Darn thorn vine hanging from this poor little tree. I'm probably gonna cut out anyway, but all right. We got us a little hole dug over here. Yeah, I might clean that out just a little bit. Let's see if we can put you up here, a little closer, up close and personal. Didn't want you too close when I was flinging all that stuff. So we only got a couple minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. But oh, it's saying no. Don't leave me. The ground is so uneven. All right, let's try this side. Just for time's sake. Stay, behave. All right. So we're just gonna get this stuff into this hole. And there's some nice worms in here. It's been a forested area. We're just starting to open her up. So this dirt is pretty dark, and it was growing in dirt worse than this. So hopefully these will take off nicely, and we'll have some good chicken food for our chickens. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up for today, y'all. And just know we got more coming. This is just the beginning. Everybody be blessed and hug your family. They love you, whether you think so or not.